950 here. I'm gonna go over and screen a bunch of oversized rock that I pulled up out of a hole that I found that had some decomposed granite. So I needed a bunch more material to put underneath the road, and so I dug it all up, moved it over here, and I'm going to be putting it through the screener here. This is the SLG 108 machine. It's our new Grizzly screener with the spring-loaded screen deck. A little bit tight for room here, but we're going to make it work. It's kind of the beauty of a SLG screener. You can operate these machines in very little room. So let's say I think it's a 4 3/4 yard bucket. It's a bigger bucket that I really should be using for this screener. It's 9.5 feet wide. So I don't know if you can see the corners of my bucket there, but I'm right out on the edge of the screener, but I'm making it work. It's not just screen deck width, but it's also getting your material out of the inside after you're done. The beauty of this screener is the ability to manipulate that screen deck. Just incredible base course material here. Like I said, I found a big old pocket of it on the property here. Dug up actually probably close to 3,000 yards. Ran it all through the Grizzly, that 4-inch mesh. Screened it down to a 3-inch minus. And I preloaded this whole yard that's here is all sitting on top of that material. And then I used all the oversize. Up for the banks and in areas where I was going to have erosion control problems. So I'm just going to pile all this stuff up. Love this old 950 loader. Things were just bulletproof machines. Gentleman that he sells cutting edges, and I bought a bunch of cutting edges off him, and he saw the screeners, and he had bought a piece of property that he was developing, building a new house, and he ended up buying an SLG 78 from me for his Bobcat skid steer and his little Hitachi excavator. He actually just called me the other day, and he's coming out tomorrow. He's going to rent a 78 Grizzly screener from us. He's got to make a whole bunch of perk stone. So he wants to Grizzly it down, and then he's going to run a bunch of it through his vibratory 78. Way up, his ranch is quite a ways up out of Kamloops, BC, and trucking any rock up there. He's looking at about 5 hours, I guess, or 4 hours for a rounder out of Kamloops there. So all the material that he's been screening, things kind of scenarios that I've got here where trucking's an issue, the little screeners here just make everything affordable, allowing you to use everything that you've got on site. But I was using the excavator there. I wanted to shoot a little bit of film of the excavator screening and feeding the 108. Shot about 9 minutes. Figured I had about 7 yards in 9 minutes there. Just it's hard to imagine just how much money is saved when you can use material that's on site. It's really mind-boggling. You know, you hear guys running dump trucks and whatnot saying, man, it's tough to make any money with dump trucks. Cost of fuel, insurance, maintenance, tires, licensing, and then you look at just a simple screener like this working on site, and you start calculating how many loads you can process in an hour. It's really staggering the amount of money that you can save. This Grizzly screener here it's going to be an extremely popular, the 108 here. The 78s we came out with first, and we've had a lot of customers buying what we call our contractor package. Move my camera up here a little bit. Sorry, the vibration moved it down. They've been buying our contractor packages where we have one vibratory machine and one Grizzly machine, and they're making 4 products in one setting. So like with this one here, you'd have the 108 Grizzly sitting next to the 108 vibratory, and here you're making like a 3-inch minus. And say you pick that up and you put it over the 2x2 mesh, screen it down to 1.5 inches, so you'd have 1.5 inches up to 3 inch, and then you'd have 1.5 inches minus. You could run it through a 3/4x4 and pull out 5/8 minus, and then you'd end up with a 5/8 all the way up to 3 inch. So again, I just can't say enough that it's mind-boggling how much revenue you can generate. Like, I just took my 3rd bucket full out there. There's in excess of a dump truck load there, just with those 3 buckets because of the size of this bucket. But I'd be looking at over $600 to get that load right there trucked up. And so, again, it's all, this whole project that I've done, I've used everything on site. All the fines I bedded the water lines with, and the electric lines, the 3-inch minus material that I used it all as to preload this whole yard down here. It doesn't matter how much it rains, I never get mud, and I spent enough years logging that I hate mud. So, and then all the bigger size, the oversized rock, we're using that just on the banks, use them into ditch lines, anywhere where I got water running. The road going up top is fairly steep, and so I dug a ditch, and I had enough oversized rock here. I preloaded that whole ditch with 3-inch plus material, and then I just walked it in with the excavator. So the road's going to slope to the inside to minimize the erosion over the bank, so it all travels down through that rock, comes down to the end and dumps off the end of the switch back there. So I just want to take a minute this morning and show you a little bit of this rock that we're screening up. I've got some footage of the excavator working, feeding it. I shot some footage the other day, digging it out of the hole and feeding it across with a 3/4 by 4 with my 6mm wire. So it's our heavier wire that we offer in our elongated, but it just works awesome for the amount of production that you can get through the screener, and it'll stand up to this heavier rock. So, thanks for taking a little bit of time watching this little video here. I try and post videos whenever I can when I'm doing something. It gives customers a chance to actually see our machines working. I don't manipulate any of our videos, and I just screen the same kind of material while I'm videoing as when I'm not videoing. So I don't pick special material. If it's wet, I screen it wet. If it's dry and dusty, I just screen it dry and dusty. And that way, once you get enough videos out there, everybody gets a chance to see how the machine works in all kinds of different screening conditions. So, anyways, I appreciate you. Thanks very much for taking the time to watch this video here today. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.